Hi there, welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where I share the tools with you that you want so that you can have the life that you know you deserve, the life that's your birthright to have, the joy, the possibility, the results that you know are yours. I always love starting with comments because it really opens up a dialogue and it lets me see you and you see that I'm seeing you, and we get to really share each other's breakthroughs. So, Life After Bariatrics, I love that name. You commented on the episode, Why Others Need to Hear Your Story. I loved when you said, quote, don't try to make it perfect. People love your imperfection more than they love your perfection. Let it fall out. Let it stumble out. Learn how to tell it. Just tell it, end quote. You said, I'm just pushing myself each day to make brave, consistent, imperfect actions. Let me tell you something, Life After Bariatrics. More than any, the world needs to hear your particular story. So muster up the courage, or sometimes just share the story with knees knocking and teeth chattering. And even in that share, even in that experience, we're going to be blessed. And then Jessica, you commented on the episode, Master One Lesson Before Taking on the Next. And you said, quote, thank you. I become overwhelmed when I think of all the areas that I can work on, right? Just narrowing it down to a few at a time, the thought is encouraging. I'm blessed by your words. Sister, I'm blessed by your words and by your presence as well. I love it when you comment. I love it when you talk to me. I love it when you let me know that my finger's on the pulse of what you say is important. I'm not sure if you know it. I and my team actually comb through the YouTube channel. We look at what your comments are, and sometimes embedded in your comment is another question. And we actually pull that question out and use that question as our guiding topic for an upcoming show. So I'm grateful when you say that I've touched your heart, I've touched your soul. But I gotta tell you, it's in your comments that we get all the delicious questions that we wanna answer for you. That way, we know we're on target. So keep the comments and the questions coming. You know, patience is that thing that, all of us want, but we don't know how to get the patience to get it. It's that gift and that character that's only developed in the discomfort of the act of patience itself. I'm going to share a couple of stories with you because I have had more bouts with being impatient than anything, to the point now that I think one of the characters that's the most developed in me is the character of patience. I recognize that if not now, it will happen. But my now does not mean never. My now means when it's supposed to happen, and my job is to stay in action. I was sitting in the van on my way to a good friend's house. I was sitting in the van with many other teachers from The Secret way back in 2008. And many things were happening and a lot of success was going on, but I was still struggling. So on the outside, I had notoriety, I was in The Secret, we had been on Oprah, and so many things were happening. But on the inside, personally, I was still trying to figure out how to pay my car note. I was still trying to figure out how to, take care of my son while I'm on the road. I still had all these challenges that really did not make me feel like I was successful. And I felt like I couldn't work another hour of the day. I couldn't put forth any more energy. I couldn't do anything else. And I've been doing it so long. I've been grinding so long. You might know what that looks like. I was sitting in the van on my way to John Gray's house. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, a good friend of mine. And it was so many of us in the van. And I remember looking over at my friend, John Assaraf. And I said, John, why does it have to be so hard? Why is it taking so long? I feel like I've been at this forever and I don't see any results. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm about to lose faith in this dream. And John turned to me and he said something that just shifted everything for me, and I hope it does the same for you. He looked at me and he said, Lisa, you cannot plant your seeds and reap your harvest in the same season. I realize that some seasons are a year, some seasons are 3 years, some seasons are 5 years. But I I I was planting a seed, and it was my job to water the seed with the water of consistency, the water of everyday action, the water of time management, the water of an effective strategy. That I had planted the seed, and it was my responsibility to give the seed the sunlight of belief, the sunlight of team, the sunlight of get back up and do it again if it doesn't work the first or fifth or 19th time. The sunlight of new possibility, the sunlight of new behaviors. That I realized that the seed was my dream, the water and the sunlight was my consistency, my perseverance, my everyday action, not my every other day action, my willingness to be in action and be accountable even when it's uncomfortable. That was the water and that was the sunlight. Fast forward 5 years, and I got it. I got it that day in the van. Like when I get it, I remind myself, you got it. Live like you got it. A lot of your lessons you have to learn over and over and over again. And you find yourself saying, how did I end up here again? Well, you have to learn the lesson again because you're not living like you learned the lesson. And when you don't live like you've learned the lesson, the universe, God, whatever you call your higher power, has to give you the lesson again until you begin to live like you've learned the lesson. Now, that's not the answer to your question, but that's a bonus. So I found myself 5 years straight watering, 5 years straight sunshine, thinking the whole time, the seed and the harvest. I can't plant my seed and reap my harvest in the same season. And when he said seed and harvest, it made me think about a seed and harvest because my dad loves gardening, my brother loves gardening, and I would watch them. And my grandmother, they learned it from my grandmother, I'd watch them till the soil. That's your mind. That's why you're here. That's this YouTube channel. And plant something new in it. That's your dream. That's the intention in your belly. And I realized that my brother would nurture that seed. He would go out, he would check on it, he would water it, he would check the dirt, make sure it wasn't too moist. He would check the dirt, make sure it wasn't too dry. He would make sure that the sunlight wasn't too direct. He would make sure that it had everything it needed on a daily basis so that that seed can grow. And lo and behold, you look up and in 2 months, 3 months, there's tomatoes, there are greens, there's cabbage, there's oranges. They're all the things that my brother had first walked out, my father or my grandmother first walked out with seeds. And so I began to understand, wait, if I'm treating my dream like a seed, so many times you plant the seed and then you just look at the seed and go, grow, grow, grow. Why aren't you growing? First of all, any negative energy and any lack of gratitude, the absence of gratitude and negative energy causes anything to contract. So that seed won't grow, won't ever grow in the space of chaos, ambiguity, and lack of gratitude, or impatience. It won't grow, it will contract, it will wait until you're feeding it what it needs to be fed on a consistent basis, including gratitude. 5 years later, I'm in a limo in Hollywood. John Assaraf's in the limo with me. And I'm on a phone call with Warner Brothers discussing a potential deal. And John says, Lisa, I want to ask you something. I said, wait, John, wait. Lisa, I want to ask you something. Wait, John. And finally, when he got my attention, he goes, so Lisa, how's the harvest? See, 5 years later, I had been consistent in the trenches. People often ask me, Lisa, how did you grow your business overnight? First of all, if it was overnight, it was the longest night of my life. And secondly, I understood that there was a seed and I needed to plant. I needed to nurture that seed with consistency and action, perseverance and team, gratitude, willingness to grow. And here, when you look at the Chinese bamboo tree, and I love this story, the Chinese bamboo tree, you plant the seed for that tree. And in the first year, nothing grows. And in the second year, nothing grows. And the third year, you're watering it, sunshine. The third year, nothing grows. In the fourth year, still water, still sunlight, nothing grows. It isn't until the fifth year that it sprouts above the dirt for the first time. And then in the next 6 weeks, it will grow as high as 80 feet tall, You water it with activity and action and strategy. You give it sunshine of consistency and gratitude. And you might not be in the first year. It might not be in the fourth year. It might not even be in your fifth year, but in the year it's supposed to grow, watch out. You tell the world, watch out, because I'm going 80 feet tall, and I'll be right there to cheer you on. Remember, this show is not a monologue. I am not interested in only talking to you. I am not interested in only hearing my voice. Please don't subject me to my voice only. I want to hear your voice. This is a dialogue. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear where your patience has been strained. Now, not just in business. Is it with your children? Is it with your spouse? Is it with your parents? Is it with your siblings? Is it with yourself? Is it with your weight loss? Where can you give yourself the gift of planting the seed and recognizing that your harvest is on its way, but it won't magically appear? Your harvest only appears when you give it water of consistency and sunlight of strategy and implementation. Leave a comment below. Please be sure to let me know how you feel and how did this particular episode leave you feeling. Be sure to subscribe. If you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? You know you like us. We like you too. And then look out for more amazing content in the future that we co-create together. After all, this is your home. You see the girls back there cheering you on? This is your home. We are your tribe, and I am your sister in possibility and prosperity and love and in honor. And as I always say, I believe in you and I love you because I do. I really do. I'll see you real soon.